Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets from now until Super Bowl 57 on February 12th, 2023 from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1,199 versus a regular price of $1,999 for one total savings of $800. This limited time super discount comes out to less than $100 per month and only $3.28 per day. As an added bonus, your all access starts immediately. So the sooner you buy before Super Bowl 56, the more additional days you will get for free. Just go to WagerTalk.com, choose your favorite handicapper to lock in, and don't forget there is no limit to the amount of handicappers you can redeem our Super Bowl to Super Bowl offer on.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Friday here. We made it through another week, almost through the month of January. A couple of more days to go, but got a loaded NBA card here tonight to break down for you, and we're going to do it with three of the best and familiar faces here today on a Friday. Is Andy Lang on location at about 23 feet of snow. Rob Vino joining us right there in the middle, and Tony Finn in the house here as we wrap up what has been a great week on the hardwood. And Andy, it's just getting started here as we get ready for the weekend here. A lot going on, and I know the prop market certainly. I know you've been going through it. So, what do you got locked and loaded over at WagerTalk.com first?
Well, it's not only a big night; it's a big weekend. We have a 5% play in the NBA going tonight. We have a 5% NFL prop going. So recommend everybody just get a 3-day pass. The 3-day pass right now is less expensive than the 2 5% plays combined. So get a 3-day pass and you're going to get all NBA plays for the next 3 days, as well as all of NFL plays going on Sunday. As for me, yes, I'm on location. We got a bunch of snow. The transformer outside my neighborhood blew up and exploded. And so I did what any man would do. I left my wife and dog at home, and I came to the bar to record the show with you fine gentlemen. So I'm very proud of myself. So it's okay. I made a fire in the fireplace, so they should be good for the next few hours.
All right, good. You left them a loaf of bread. What the hell else do they want? Very good, Andy. I appreciate that. Rob Vino, talk to us here, my man. It was interesting night last night. Just a couple of games on the board. We pretty much covered them spot on the show yesterday, but with this card tonight, what do you got locked and loaded for us?
Yeah, we're up and running in the NBA tonight, Joe. There is one play up right now, available at WagerTalk.com. There will be more to come. I tell you what, if you start handicapping the NBA at Eastern time, right? You and I are both on the Eastern time zone. If you start handicapping it at 8 a.m., everything you handicapped, you could throw in the garbage by 11 a.m., which you can in turn throw in the garbage by 3 p.m. And no sense going through it until we know. Last night was a good night. As the listeners know, I had a 2-0, Joe, now up to 9-3, last 12, 75%. Been a really, really good week. But the under first half in the Lakers-Philly game came through. And boy, if we don't preach it enough, shopping line value is huge. Last night, first half over in the Golden State game, 117.5. We won with that, but I think it closed at 118.5. So you could have been on the wrong side if you came late to the party. But we got a 2-0 out of it.
Yeah, it's you guys hear us referring to the 1% club. Rob, Ski, a bunch of us are on a text chain, and all the games that just almost make the. And we pretty much have, I don't know, it's got to be 30 plays when it's all said and done. We start with we're only going to play one game. Next thing you know, our tickets got 38 games deep. I don't even want to look at the text anymore, to tell you the truth. It costs me nothing but cash. Tony Finn, talk to us here, my man, tonight. What do you think? I mean, it's a huge card. We talked college hoops with you earlier. What do you got locked and loaded tonight here, though?
Well, it's my card's just gotten a little bit bigger too, as I've got some more information. But real quickly, it's Mr. Lang. What any man would do when the internet was out, he would tell his wife, he'd leave his wife and dog, tell him he's going to the show, then he'd call him sick. The show. That's what it. As far as I'm glad I'm not. If you need fixing on that 1% show, but I'm interested in what you guys like tonight.
Yeah,
I got three NBAs and 2 college basketball for tonight. And last night was a good night, guys. I kind of finagled that Philly that you guys were just talking about. I played Philly. I recommended to the clients, listen, grab Philly right now at -3.5, -4. Once they announced that LeBron's either in or out, whatever it might be, when he's out, it's going to go up to 6.5, 7. It went to 8 on some places, but it come back with some buyback on that. But then I like the under too. And as Rob was suggesting, or somebody was suggesting on the Golden State, I played the under in that game, Rob. So that was my only loser last night in the NBA was that particular one. So it was another good night in the NBA. Thanks to Philly. Thanks to the King, LeBron.
All right. That's it. LeBron falling out. We did try to warn him on the show yesterday, Rob. We did talk about that. Anticipated it was coming. Line kept going up. Ski kept screaming under, under, under. Under was the play. So it was a good job there. But let's start with our contrarian play of the day. And, man, they have not been on the contrarian list in a long time. But they are here tonight, guys, as we take a look at the New York Knicks. Getting 9 here, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks in this one. And, we talked about it a couple of days ago on the show with the Milwaukee Bucks when they were taking on Cleveland. What Milwaukee team is going to show up? We don't know. That's the problem. And, and laying 9 points with a team that we have no idea which version we're going to get there, Andy Lang, kind of tough to do. So where are you looking here tonight? You willing to back the contrarian gods and the New York Knicks?
Absolutely, I'm going to be with the contrarian gods here. Unfortunately, it is the scariest phrase in sports. I'll take the Knicks and the points. But I don't trust this Milwaukee team right now. They're losing to teams that they just should not be losing to. The Knicks, they're not exactly blowing doors off. They've lost 5 out of 6, but 9 it's just too many points. It's an inconsistent team. Milwaukee has covered 1 game in their last 5. This feels like a Milwaukee team that is just kind of trudging through, making it to the postseason, and then they turn on the Jets. So at this point, they're a really good bet against right now. So I would absolutely side with the contrarian gods. We do have one player prop I love in this game. This is actually part of our package, so giving this one out for free. Take a look at Julius Randle, under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's gone under in 3 out of 4. This is a bad matchup for him with Giannis, Portis, Middleton. Last time he played the Bucks, he had 8 points. He's actually played Milwaukee 3 times, and he's flown under in 2 of them. He got over in one of those games with some line. In the games he went under, he had 22 and 25, so coming in way under. Look for Julius Randle to have a tough matchup. I think the Knicks, I think they lose, but I think they cover. I look for Randle to struggle, and I look for the points to be coming from New York tonight.
All right, expecting some perimeter points there. Rob, I'm looking at the 4:30 report. Nothing out of the ordinary. The big 3 available for the Milwaukee Bucks. Nerlens Noel, who's been out, is even listed as questionable here for the Knicks. But, man, 9 points for a team that if they do get hot from shooting threes, that being the Knicks, this is going to be a lot closer than 9 points. What do you think?
Yeah, if they get hot, Joe, it'll be the second time in about 2 weeks that they got hot. Their shooting percentages from the field last 6 games, 5 times they haven't even made it to 43% from the field. It's hard to back a team that can't shoot the basketball. And in turn, their 3-point defense as of late has gone right in the dumpster as well. And Milwaukee's known for having a lot of good 3-point shooters. Yesterday was my favorite day of the week, Joe. You know why? Because there were only 2 games and the contrarian gods couldn't show up.
But
correct. Today, they show up to try and ruin my day and my time on this show. I'm going to buck them, though. I have a feeling for Milwaukee here. in what could be a margin extender because New York just is having such a difficult time shooting. I hope Andy wins his prop and Julius Randle does struggle, because if he struggles, I don't think there's any way the Knicks cover this game. So I'm going to try Milwaukee. I'll buck the contrarian gods.
I'm not sure if he went buck, and he knows he did that there, Tony Finn. But, yeah, very nice there. Well done, Rob Dino. But how about you? Are you willing to buck the Bucks with the contrarian god here, or are you going to buck the Knicks? What are you going to do here, Tony Finn?
Did you say buck, or did you say something else?
I said buck.
Never mind. Okay. Never mind then. Here's my question. I'm not. Listen, I've been pretty transparent. I've been completely honest. There was only one time when I said, "Well, I really don't have an opinion, so I'll just join you guys." So I don't get thrown on the bus at some point during the show. And when I joined you, they lost. So I'm not joining you anymore unless I like contrarian play. In this situation, guys, explain to me this. Explain to me what Thibodeau is. Is he not on his medication? Because he can't figure out what he's going to play. Kemba, start Kemba, just not play him at all. Give him too many minutes. The Kemba Walker, Evan Fornicator, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. That lineup, guys. This lineup has, and they have the sixth most possessions played together among that Knicks team, right? They're outscored by over 12 points every 100 possessions, that lineup. And in the first quarter, they're so bad, they're being out. 7 of the points are in the first quarter. So can we do this? Can we just take Milwaukee like quarter 1, quarter 2, first half, and then let the second half be contrarian? I'll do that with you. But the numbers are horrendous, as bad as Milwaukee's been. And they've been bad. That loss to Cleveland was bad. They got run off the floor. Cleveland, 1.2 and change points per possession in non-garbage time. And they hit 18, 19 of 41 three-pointers. Cleveland. That's bad. Milwaukee, you guys said it. I believe it. I'm with you. You don't know who you're getting, but I'd have to be I can't buck the Bucks tonight.
Wow. I know there's one guy on this panel that's going to be cashing a ticket on this game later. So there it is, the contrarian gods back in the 9. Give me them 9 points, they say, against the very inconsistent, although talented, Milwaukee Bucks here. All right, guys, let's head over to our featured matchup, and we're going to take a look at the Mirage, known as the Memphis Grizzlies here, who opened up as a 3-point favorite. That has since been pushed to 5 here in many spots. 224.5 as a opening total on this. I am now seeing 226s, and maybe even it's come down a little. 4.5 now is what I'm getting. So it all comes down to the injury report in this one, right? What and who are we getting back for the Utah Jazz, I think, is going to decide where everybody is looking at this game. And we'll start with you, Andy. What do you think here? Prop betting perspective, who are you looking at on these two teams?
Well, first off, a couple interesting stats probably would just surprise everybody, just casual NBA fans. Like, Memphis, believe it or not, is the number 1 team in block shots per game and rebounds per game. That kind of blows my mind. It doesn't make any sense. That would not be the team that I would think would be leading those categories. But they've been playing good. I really like the way Memphis is playing. Obviously, John Morant's good. I like that Bane is back. Jaren Jackson, obviously. And Gobert and Mitchell being out is huge. I mean, Utah's just falling apart without them. There is a prop that stands out to me. It's a low number, but I'm taking the under. Give me Steven Adams under 6.5 points. Memphis just has way more scoring options, and he's gone under this total in 8 straight games. 8 straight games. He's not shooting the ball hardly at all. He'll get a rebound to put back here or there, but this is a team that goes through John Morant. It's a team that goes through Desmond Bane. And with Mitchell out and with Gobert not manning the paint, I think this is going to be a big, big game for Jaren Jackson, Bane, and John Morant. I would also look at the Memphis Grizzlies over their team total as well tonight because I think those guys get it done. But Steven Adams is not scoring points. 6.5 under is the way I'm going to go in this one.
So, Rob, I'm seeing as of the 4:30 report, no Mitchell, no Gobert. I'm seeing a Utah team that's lost 9 of its last 11. Rudy Gobert, I believe they're 1-6 without him this season. They've lost 5 of 6 without Donovan Mitchell. I mean, when you put it all together, it ain't good without those two guys on the court for the Utah Jazz here. Doesn't look like they're going to be available tonight. How are you going to approach this game?
Yeah, and it's especially not good at the rim, Joe. Rudy Gobert is the big absence, right? Last 2 games, they played Phoenix in both games, but mind you that they played Phoenix with no big men. And Phoenix was able to shoot 47.5% and 49% from the floor. When you're playing the Memphis Grizzlies and you have no rim protection and you're facing Ja Morant and Desmond Bane, Andy talked about their rebounding capability on the Memphis side, you're going to give up points. No question about it. I'm going to speak to this from a totals perspective. I think that Utah will give up points without Dylan Brooks in the lineup. Let's mention that for the other side because they're not the same defensive team without him either. If I just go through Memphis's last 5 or 6 games on the defensive side, they've allowed 48% or better from the field in 5 of their last 6. Utah's still capable. They brought some guys back into the lineup last game, first game back, but now the starting lineup has Royce O'Neal. It has Bogdanovich. It has Ingles. It has Conley. Off the bench, 6th man, they have Jordan Clarkson. All guys capable of scoring points. I think this game gets over. I just don't see where there's stops on either end. Memphis has been defensively incapable lately, even though they're winning. Utah, as I just mentioned, without Gobert, stopped 0 at the rim. Hassan Whiteside, if anybody watched that game the other night, I really wonder if that guy even knows what he's doing out there. Aside from being able to catch an alley-oop and slam, he's about worthless. So I would say over 226.5 is probably a pretty good way to go in this game, which should have plenty of pace and plenty of 3-point shooting from the Jazz side.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch here for Utah, but yet, listen, the winning streak is over there, Tony Finn, for the Memphis Grizzlies, but the mirage is still going. 14 of their last 17, my friend. I mean, we've heard countless times on this show you calling Memphis a mirage. Is it still a mirage tonight that they're favored?
Oh, well, listen, I played Milwaukee. I played Memphis in their last game. And I thought it was going to be a fairly easy cash. And it looked like an easy cash until the end of the game. We did end up winning 8, laying 4 in that game. So it was a winner. But Memphis Memphis is closer to who they were in November than they were last month. And that 14-17 it goes long back before we talked about the mirage aspect of who they're going to be. Rob's right. They'll be a little bit better when Dylan's back, play a little defense, but they're still not going to be that team that was holding teams to under 1 point per possession and the defensive rating they have. They're not that team, and they don't shoot. Listen, they've been shooting. Morant's shooting so much better from the 3. Looks better from the 3. Maybe when he's capable of stepping back and shooting a 3 at 4 or 5% more than he does now, the kid's unstoppable. But I agree with Rob here. Listen, this thing screams over. No Mitchell. No. In truth, Memphis is going to attack the rim. They may have 70 points in the paint tonight against this team. I played a prop when they were down in Phoenix, or Phoenix was playing in Utah. I played Booker over, I think it was 32 points. I think, what did he have, 50 in the game or close to it? He had almost his 32 at halftime. And it's because there's no Gobert. Whiteside's a defensive guy, can block some shots, but nothing like Gobert. And he's not what he was 2 or 3 years ago when he was playing with Miami, right? He was capable then. And lastly, nobody is better in transition right now, I think, than the Grizzlies. And there isn't too many teams. Phoenix isn't really good, but Utah is really suspect in transition. So they're going to score 70 points in the paint, 40 points in transition, and whatever extra points they get. So, yeah, over the total in this game, and I like Memphis, by the way. So, yeah,
All
I
right,
think
up.
you can. I think you can play this all you want.
Up and over. That's what it is.
Yeah.
226, 226 and a half for total in that one. Speaking of totals, let's head to our overtime matchup. And we are going to head to a place known as Houston, rather. I'm sorry, Houston. That's where we're going right now as the Rockets get ready to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. 232 and a half, and that is not high enough as the market has continued to push this up to 234 and a half pretty much across the board. So here we got a whole lot of totals, a whole lot of points coming our way here. Andy Lang, talk to us. Who in Portland or Houston might you be targeting in the prop market?
Tony, first off, Tony mentioned that he played Devin Booker. You can probably play Devin Booker again tonight with Minnesota and that banged up backcourt with D'Angelo Russell and Pat Bev being all banged up. So you might be able to go right back to him. This one is a little bit tough, but I'm going to jump on some injury news and try and take advantage of it. It's a huge, huge number, but look at Nurkic, over 13.5 rebounds. Christian Wood is now questionable with a migraine. Anybody that suffers from migraines or chronic migraines knows it's hard to play basketball with that. Just ask Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan would tell you can do it, but ask Scottie Pippen, he would say it's pretty difficult. So I'm going to jump on Nurkic just with that. I'm also seeing that Kevin Porter is now questionable, and he did not even participate in shoot-arounds. So we could be looking at a fairly depleted Houston team. Could be good for points for some other players, but without Christian Wood, there's just nobody in there to rebound. Nurkic is just going to be the biggest and strongest and best rebounder in the game by far. I would even see if you can find an alternate line over maybe 15 or 16. See if you can grab some plus money. And if he's anywhere near even money on double-doubles, I would take Nurkic. So look to take advantage of Christian Wood being absent with the migraine tonight.
All right, good stuff there. What do you think here, Rob? It's historically been an over spot in just about every place we can find when dealing with these two teams. How about tonight? You trust it just to go over?
It becomes hard. Again, Joe, we're talking about games that have now reached this point almost on a daily basis like they did last year, right? 235 or 234, whatever this one is. And it takes a lot to get to this number. Just about everything has to go right. What will go right in this game, we know Houston's playing, so there'll be pace. Just to give you some numbers, the other night, Houston shot 41% from the floor, which isn't great. But still, that game against the Spurs wound up producing 238 points because they don't play any defense to go with it. Portland the other night only shot 39% against Minnesota. They only got to 107. The injuries not only exist on the Houston side tonight, and they're damaging injuries to their offense, but the other side has them as well. I mean, we talked about that Dallas-Portland game the other night where they were missing their entire starting front court, Robert Covington and Nasir Little. Nasir Little definitely out once again tonight, and Robert Covington still questionable. I don't know if he's going to go. So what you wind up with is Norman Powell, Tony Snell, Nurkic, McCollum, and Anthony Simons as the starting lineup. And then the bench is a hodgepodge. I just don't know. And again, I feel like this is going to be a game played with pace, a roll out the balls type of game. But I just don't know that there's enough weaponry on both sides here to get it done. So I'd probably lean slightly under. I mean, you shouldn't do it with the metrics involved with these two, but you start taking 4 real key players out of this game, and I don't think it makes it there. So give me under 234.
All right, leaning towards the under in this one here. He's right, Tony. We've talked about it a lot. You need a lot of things to go right to go over that 235 mark. You need cooperation from both sides. So is there enough trust in these two teams to go on the over at this point at 234 and a half?
Well, first off, Rob, I don't know if you guys heard, but Little's out for the season.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
He's gone for the season to that shoulder injury. Tonight, and listen, I don't know. I was the other day. I was looking at Little and how he affected this team, but he improved this team over 5 points in net rating, Little did. When he's off the floor, they're 5.6 points worse per 100 possessions. How can that be? How can that be? And tonight also, we got, I think it's Robert Covington and Dennis Smith Jr. They're both questionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who the hell's playing for Portland, and how do you trust? I would be with you guys on this. I would be over on this. I'd like to be. Maybe a lot of it because I thought Little was probably the best defender in the paint. He was that's a massive blow for them. He's a guy that actually blocked shots, had a big wingspan, a 6'6" or 6'7" wingspan. That's a big guy. It's pretty tough to lose. So that said this, and that is Houston. Houston and the over. If you're going to be in this game and you like Houston, they're going to run. They're going to score. I don't know if they need to score that much, but they will against this Portland Trailblazers team. But you got to have some help, right? Right, Joe? So the question here is Portland going to do their part? But I'll be with you guys. I'm on Houston and the over here. And I like Houston as my dog, and I'll talk about why.
All right. Good stuff there. All right, so expecting, never not exciting watching them, guys. But it's time, of course. Tony mentioned the dogs. Let's hear them barking. Let's see what we got here, Robert.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, we got a whole lot of very interesting dogs here tonight, including the Lakers. We got the Pistons, Celtics coming in as a dog to clip, the Rockets, the Jazz, Thunder, Bulls, T-Wolves, the New York Knicks, and the New Orleans Pelicans. So kick us off here, Andy. Which one of these you willing to make your dog tonight?
Give me the Clippers. You can have your house roast coffee, your hazelnut coffee. I like my Amir coffee. He's led the Clippers in scoring the last two nights, and they've won. They won both these games outright. They're not against great opponents, but now we're seeing Jimmy Butler pop up on the injury report with a big toe irritation. Ooh. I think that's what Mejia had today. I think Mejia had a big toe irritation and couldn't make the show, but there's too many points, especially if Butler is out. We're seeing that Miami is desperate to make three-pointers when Jimmy Butler is not around. And the big toe irritation, if that is a real thing that's going on with him, even if he plays, you got to believe he's a little bit hobbled. So I think the Clippers have a little bit of energy after what they've done the last couple games. I like them to cover and possibly win outright, especially if Butler is out.
All right, good stuff there. How about it there, Rob? Vino, you got a couple of interesting spots here to look at. Where are you going? What's your dog tonight?
I'm underneath Andy Lang, but I think I can duck him a little bit. I'm going to take Oklahoma City +1. Ooh. Because what the hell are the Pacers doing favored on the road? It's ridiculous, right? And again, it begins, Joe, we talk about it every day with the fact that Sabonis shows up on the injury list early this morning as questionable rather than out, and immediately money comes towards the Pacers. I mean, these guys, they're not just ambulance chasers. They just, if you're questionable, your team will draw money. It's crazy. I think Oklahoma City, there's really no contest in who's the better defensive team currently constructed. Indiana goes out there the other night, gives up 158 points to Charlotte. Of course, that's a mirage. It's not the norm, but still, there's too many different combinations of lineups here and too many, over the course of the last 10 days or so, too many second and third teamers asked to do too much to think that they were going to be a cohesive defensive unit. We praised them a little bit the other day for being competitive, for putting up points, but eventually the roof was going to fall in on that defense, and it did. One more thing real quick. If Sabonis plays, I think we've said it enough here that when these guys, and there's been a bunch of instances, examples, where when a star player comes back in that first game, you get all excited. Oh, they're getting this guy back. They're getting that guy back. And the team inevitably, for the most part, has fallen on their face the first time out. You want to wait to start and then get them in the second or third game. I don't see Indiana being good enough to beat Oklahoma City at home here, even though Oklahoma City is not a great team. I think that their bad offense benefits from playing this bad defense. Oklahoma City has played some good defenses recently. So give me OKC +1 at home.
All right, OKC +1. You mentioned it, Tony Finn. You said Houston. Talk to us.
Yes. Well, a lot of this has to do with I just thought, the Dawg and Houston, they go together pretty well. They're Dawg team. I thought we named no, in truth, guys, in seriousness. We talked a little bit about it when we talked about who's playing, who's not playing for this Portland team. And I listen. I was the other day when we had a team that basically New Orleans who just set everyone. If you remember right, we ended up missing that. I ended up missing that game. I think went open to 8.5. It steamed to 12 or something. But I got them at 8.5, and then I released them at 10.5. And Philly and only wins up by 10. But that Philly just like another Milwaukee team, the way Philly's playing sometimes. So that said, tonight's it's the second. I know it's just the second game in 7 nights for the Rockets, but they had 2 nights off since their last contest against San Antonio. 3 nights off prior to that. They're fresh. You guys talked about it. They're going to run. And if they score like they've been scoring, and they can score against, even pedestrian teams, what are they going to do to Portland tonight without Little and without maybe Covington, without Smith? It seems to me that they shouldn't even be the dog here, right? They should be. I think they're a 4 or 5 point favorite. Now I know that's not the metrics, but give me the Houston Rockets, man, plus points against the Blazers in a game I think they could win by. This may be their highest scoring game and maybe their largest margin of victory tonight against the Blazers.
All right, get her done. Love it. A lot of ways you can go to the board here tonight when you look at it. But Andy, we need a best bet from you here, man. A lot of different spots to look. So kick us off. 60 seconds. Where you going here tonight?
I mean, do you believe the nerve, the unmitigated gall of Rob Vino to not believe in my Indiana Pacers after giving up over 150 points? Unbelievable.
Got a point.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Just a reminder, we got a 5% NBA playoff tonight, 5% NFL prop locked and loaded for Sunday. Get a 3-day pass and we get all of them. Don't laugh, Rob. I'm going with the Pacers. Team total over 108.5 points tonight. They can't stop anybody. But I like this lineup on offense. The ball moves. There's a lot of passing. They're quicker. Their pace of play is up. They've scored over this total in 5 out of 6 games. And the game they did not go over was against Phoenix. That's a really good team. No shame in that. They still scored 103. They're playing OKC tonight, who's given up over this total to 3 out of 4 opponents. It's going to be an ugly game. I can't blame anybody for thinking the Thunder's going to win. I like the Pacers to score. I'm taking over 108.5.
I can't believe he's going that direction, Rob, but he is, man. He's going to go homer on us here. How about you, Vino? 60 seconds. Where you going on the board here tonight?
And to Andy's point, that game total has been bet up steadily all day long, 216.5 all the way to 220. So looking for points is obviously something that the money is doing here today. Joe, I'm just going to circle back to what we talked about earlier, because to me, Utah and Memphis, the matchup itself, again, Tony used the phrase screams of over, and I just think it screams of points for both sides here. Memphis is great at attacking a rim, especially a rim that's not being defended. And in watching Utah the other night against Phoenix, they can have whatever they want at the rim here this evening. So I think that Memphis will totally get theirs. And again, Utah is not going to shoot as horribly as they did the other night. A lot of those guys came back. It was their first game back, shake off a little rust. But I expect the three-pointers to fall. This particular matchup has a history of going over, dating back to their playoff series. I like Utah-Memphis over 226.
All right, taking them up and over there, Tony Finn.
Yeah.
Your turn, my man. Best bet here tonight. Where are you looking?
We're going to go to the Clippers in the Miami game in South Beach. And I guess you guys both all said it was like 100 degrees, South Miami or South Beach tonight or something like that, maybe 30 degrees. The Clippers, this is a horrible spot for them, guys. This is really a bad spot. First off, they are coming off 2 games. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights, more than anything else, and that is they're coming off 2 games that were completely that had to exhaust this team. As long as Tyronn Lue is the coach for the Clippers, it does not matter who's in the starting lineup, who's basically playing the reserve roles. There's one constant, and that's that this team will play hard. They'll play hard. They may not be capable, and they're not capable. Not tonight. He's leading a group of Clippers where it's just the next man up, and never quit, never quit, never quit. That's Lue's mantra, and it's good stuff. But this Miami team has morphed into the same team that went to the NBA Finals. Miami minus the points.
Are you sure you want to think a little more about it?
What? No, I don't. I want to say more about it.
All right, very good. That's all. I just wanted to make sure. All right, guys, that only leaves us a Friday, and what else? Look at this. It is time for the John Ryan angle of the day, courtesy of John Ryan over at sportsmemo.com. And John, well, he's looking at the Celtics and Atlanta Hawks here tonight, and John says we want to bet on home teams that are lined within the threes. We want our team to have won 5 or 6 of their last 7. And of course, we want our team to have a losing record. And if we do have that, well, then 33-13 against the number, that is 72% over the last 5 seasons. Plus, if Rob Vino is also on the Hawks, and if he is actually being pulled into this sensational live show from the bullpen, then this 2-unit bet soars to 4 units only if Rob Vino agrees. Now, if Tony Finn starts to mention that his insiders know the Celtics had to eat at McDonald's over at the airport there last night, then all bets are off that he can't go with the Hawks. But other than that, we want the team tonight. We want the Atlanta Hawks, according to John Ryan and his angle of the day. Thank you, John Ryan, for that. I appreciate it. The way there was a lot of subcategories going on in that angle of the day. But the bottom line is the Celtics did have to eat at McDonald's at the airport there. So all bets are off here, Tony Finn. I'll save you the trouble of even commenting on it. So here we go. Today's recap. Andy Lang taking the Clippers in 23 feet of snow here tonight. He's going to take +7. The best bet, though, his Indiana Pacers, boy, going to go team total over 108.5. Expecting some offense from his Pacers tonight. Rob Vino says, who the hell are the Pacers to be favorite? Give him the OKC Thunder +1. His best bet is going to be the Jazz Grizz over 220. The game hasn't even started. There's already 50 points on the board. Tony Finn, he is actually backing our producer, Robert, and the Houston Rockets tonight, +3.5. Can't believe it. Yes, his best bet, however, is the Miami Heat. Lay that 7. They're going to lay the wood tonight in Miami. Even though it's 35 degrees here tonight, they're still going to take down the Clippers. Our contrarian play of the day, the New York Knicks, +9 tonight here against the Milwaukee Bucks. And guys, don't forget, it is Friday. Best bets are locked and loaded. Andy, Rob, Tony, they are ready to go here, guys, in what is going to be a huge weekend. Not only NBA, college hoops, obviously NFL too on Sunday. Their best bets are ready to go. Now would be a good time for you to take advantage of those 3-day and 7-day all-access passes. Why is that? Well, you get every one of their plays, including their 5% best bets, guys. So head on over to WagerTalk.com. Go visit Rob. Go visit Andy. Go visit Tony Finn. And make sure you hop on board. Let's make it a very profitable, what was that, Tony Finn? That's right. A little Tony Finn sprinkle tonight, too, man. Get that sprinkle going there, Finn. I know what you're doing here.
Chocolate.
Guys, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. And make sure you head over there, visit these guys, sprinkle it up a little bit. And on behalf of Andy, Rob, and Tony, guys, we appreciate you hanging with us. Best of luck with the plays, not only tonight, all weekend long. Come back and visit us on Monday and we'll do it all over again. Good luck, guys. We'll talk to you on Monday. Have a very profitable weekend. We'll see you then.
Chocolate flavor.
Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets from now until Super Bowl 57 on February 12, 2023 from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1,199 versus a regular price of $1,999 for one total savings of $800. This limited time super discount comes out to less than $100 per month and only $3.28 per day. As an added bonus, your all access starts immediately. So the sooner you buy before Super Bowl 56, the more additional days you will get for free. Just go to WagerTalk.com, choose your favorite handicapper to lock in, and don't forget there is no limit to the amount of handicappers you can redeem our Super Bowl to Super Bowl offer on.